Today on Transformer Thursday, we have a lot to cover. I said yesterday that there was going to be a bunch of stuff we're going to be seeing for the very first time, and all of that is out here now from courtesy of Baidu and Weibo and all the different message boards. And we're going to start with MPG stuff, Masterpiece stuff. We'll probably have a second segment today because we have so much we got to cover. So let's start with MPG. Takara, they said that Masterpiece is coming to an end, but MPG will be where Masterpiece will be moving forward. And Takara's creed with Masterpiece and MPG on their website is Greto Giant Gatai. And that's where we could find combiners, large figures, and the great part could be whatever, I guess. And we kind of see an example of this. We have two repaints with slight retools going on here of two future Masterpiece products that aren't combiners, but actually repaints of previously existing Masterpiece products. First one we got here, according to the translations that I've done here on it, it is straight up going to be called DK2 Guard, the Masterpiece of MPG. We don't have a Masterpiece MPG designation yet of a number, but this is indeed DK2 Guard. DK2 Guard was this character that was first introduced to us through Hasbro Pulse's Generation Selects line in 2022. Prior to that, we did have like black versions of Ironhide. eHobby gave us a reissue of Ironhide with the black repaint. It was called Protecto Black, which was like a special black armor that made him even stronger than before to protect Convoy, aka Optimus Prime. Of course, this all pulls from the original Diaclone 1982 number 2 one-box Cherry Vinette that Ironhide came from all those years. So it really is pulling from that, along with being that new character that Hasbro Pulse created a while back. Of course, this is a straight-up repaint of the 2016 MP27 Ironhide. Even the accessory rollout that we have shown over here is 100% the same accessory rollout that the Masterpiece Ironhide had, just with color waves and blast effects all kind of changed up just to make it a little different. Again, all the translations here don't really say much. It just says, hey, it's based off of that Toyota, the one Cherry Vinette. It's from the 80s. It's the Warrior DK2, so we have the name of the character confirmed, and in the smaller part, DK2 Guard is the highest peak of the next generation. I guess that's the great of it, now in the world of MPG. So there's that one. So if you're into that character or a little bit of a Diaclone homage and having that color scheme, it comes with the battle sled, so you could really go straight up 100% Diaclone if you want to. Yeah. Pretty cool. We don't have prices yet, but we will talk about when this stuff will probably be shipping out. Then we have Lift-Ticket. Here's another example of, let's take a Diaclone color, but also based off of some previously existing coloring to make a character out of it. Lift-Ticket's an interesting one because the first time we had that character and that trademark was BotCon 2015. That was a convention exclusive item at their convention store if you went to the con in 2015. It used an older hoist mold, turned it into Lift-Ticket with that coloring, but taking that coloring based off of a Diaclone figure. Now, in 2022, much like with DK Guard that we just talked about, this was also a Hasbro Pulse exclusive where they took the Earthrise Deluxe Class hoist and turned it into a Gen Selects and gave it that color scheme again, which pulls from that, once again, 1982 number 08 4WD Hilux Wrecker type vehicle. And of course, that was used in 1985 to make the hoist that we know all those years later. This one here uses the Masterpiece MP58 hoist that we got earlier this year, so that's pretty quick turnaround on that. Again, it uses those Lift-Ticket or Diaclone colors. Interestingly, with this one, though, is the accessories. So instead of straight up using all those crazy amount of accessories that came with hoist, the crane, the mask, and all that stuff, which honestly I understand would not have fitted well with this Lift-Ticket character, they instead, oddly enough, went with the accessories that came with the Masterpiece MP56 Plus Rigorous that we talked about, which was a repaint of the MP Trailbreaker. So while it does have the chrome weapons and stuff that came with it, so it makes it more like its origin, like its Diaclone or original toy counterpart, it does have a brand new blast effect that I have not seen anymore, that they list here in the Japanese as a trail emission effect part. Now, they show it here coming blasting out of Lift-Ticket's arm here, and it could be plugged on there. But I think much like Rigorous, that came with that, like, I guess we'll call it the force field shield, I think that this is another case of you get a Masterpiece to get extra accessories for your Trailbreaker. So Rigorous came with a force field that obviously was used by Trailbreaker, and we have this trail emission here that looks very familiar and similar to Trailbreaker's, shoulder force field wave, and it probably could plug into there too. So it is something, if you did get Trailbreaker, maybe you want to get more parts and pieces, you can pick up Lift-Ticket and you get more to that. But otherwise, it is still a straight up repaint of that hoist that we got a while back. Still pretty cool though. I dig Diaclone stuff because I have a soft spot for that part of Transformers history. So pretty cool. But we got more. We got more on the repaint front. And it's not Masterpiece, but it's a continuation of the Dramatic Capture series. So the Dramatic Capture series is where they want to make these little Takara multi-packs and include a bunch of characters that encapsulate a moment in Transformers and G1. And the past one we got was the Nemesis Bridge one, all painted up to be as screen accurate as possible using those, I guess we'll call them War for Cybertron trilogy molds and United stuff and everything like that in Legacy. And now we got our Autobot one. So while we don't have anything in the translation here that says what the name of this is or anything, I'm going to assume that this is going to be the Autobot Ark Bridge set. We'll call it that. The Sabertron Bridge set. And we get Convoy, a.k.a. Optimus Prime, Meister, a.k.a. Jazz, and Teletran with a very exciting repaint put on him. So first, let's talk about the Optimus. It uses that Earthrise Leader Optimus Prime mold. While the mold has been repainted a lot, this is now going to be the third time that this mold has been used in a deco that truly is a cartoon Optimus. Before that, we had, of course, that Kingdom and Earthrise, repaint. And then, of course, we had the Netflix one, and that was it. Now we have this one here that looks very animation accurate. That's really what they're going with, especially with the whites and stuff and the coloring of the chest with the windows. So that's what I think they're going with. It looks like the trailer is absent with this one, but I think that it's really just a way to kind of keep the cost down. I mean, if you bought the Earthrise one or the Kingdom one, you already have the trailer. So you don't need to pay for another giant box that you're probably not going to use or display. So this is kind of good that they probably have it absent. And not to mention, because it's a Dramatic Capture, Optimus's trailer in robot mode is quite absent in the animation, so it makes sense for the trailer not to be there. When we look at the Jazz, it looks like Takara's trying to do something that's similar to the Autobot Stands United 5-pack, although when you look at the alt mode photos, it's clear that the windows are translucent. So maybe it's a marriage of the two ideas to make something that's not like what Hasbro has done with the 5-pack, but not 100% what we got with Studio Series. And again, this is a Studio Series 86 Jazz repaint. I've been seeing a lot of comments from the fandom that they're kind of not happy about another Jazz repaint. But keep in mind, guys, you're speaking of this as a Hasbro buyer. This is a Takara Japanese market product. And the Japanese market, they got Studio Series 86 Jazz, but they didn't get, the Amazon Canada USA exclusive Jackpot repaint. They didn't get the Toxitron Collection Jazz. They didn't get the Autobot Stands United 5-pack. They didn't get any of those. At most, they got Deluxe Knockout, which was an extensive retool. So for them, this is a new Jazz toy. Finally, that's a little bit more of a repaint. And for them, it's their second Jazz. So, Japanese market, stuff made for them. If you want to engage with it, hey, you get another Jazz. If you don't want it, you could buy the 3-pack and sell it off. Because probably the biggest drawing point of this 3-pack outside of that extremely animation accurate Convoy Optimus Prime is Teletran. Because there's an interesting conversation to have here. So Teletran obviously comes from our giant Titan class Ark ship that we got a while back. And this clearly says that when they were making the Titan class Ark ship, that this figure was on a completely different tooling. Because while it does make, of course, the bridge of the ship and a part of the alt mode and everything, it does also transform to make Teletran the computer and a robot mode of a very familiar looking character. So this was clearly planned a while back to be on a separate tooling because of, if you look at that robot mode, you know clearly who it's trying to be here, and it was trying to be Action Master Mainframe. And while it didn't have the colors of Mainframe, it was that Teletran orange, it was very clear that at some point we would get a future repaint of that, because that's just what they always do. Hey, here's something, clearly it's those colors, but we're going to do it in these for now, and we'll make a second sale a few years later. I even joked on Twitter 2 years ago how they should have done like a Steel Haven repaint, and then that's a way to get the blue Mainframe out of it. But you know, they're doing it this way, and again, it saves you from buying a whole huge Titan class figure. Instead, here's just the computer itself. Here's Teletran, it transforms, and we get something that has that original G1 Action Master Mainframe colors on it. So that's fantastic. We don't know what else it comes with. It doesn't look like it comes with the golden disc, which is probably something that was a separate accessory and a separate mold completely too. But it does come with the Sky Spy, so that's included with it. If you look carefully at the Teletran, I guess we'll call it computer mode, there is some different decos for the screen. The one on the top left is still the shot of planet Earth, so like I guess we'll call it the map. But the other two look like they're different. It's hard to make out because these are obviously early promo pre-order images. And we don't have a shot of the bridge mode, but hopefully when we do get some shots, we'll see some new decos or maybe some new tooling. We'll see. But that's pretty cool too. And again, a nice little set there with this. And again, we don't have a name yet, but it pretty much is very clear. It's the Autobot Ark Bridge set from the Dramatic Capture series. Very, very cool. And everything that we talked about today will probably get high quality images and pre-orders, and no doubt maybe even a pre-order drop and everything, because everything here is listed to come out on Wednesday, June 5th, 2024 Japan time, at least the pre-orders. And that means that it'll be a Tuesday for us. So that means probably next week we're going to get probably a very packed Transformer Tuesday for pre-orders on June 4th, 2024. So stay tuned for that. We ain't done yet with Transformer Thursday, though, today. We have an update to JT Prime 17's listings with the Earthspark Deluxes, and now we got some first look images of the product and everything. So we're going to talk about that later tonight. And a lot of other great stuff. So stay tuned here on the Transformer Slag podcast. And as always, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you in the near future.
Transformer